Oh. I thought it was funny. Isn't it the guys? Yeah, and Heidi and yeah. Okay.
Heidi, can you hear us?
She texted me, I can hear you jabbering.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
we
can hear
can.
you, Heidi.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, I think we're ready. Ready? Okay. Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Tuesday, June 21st, 2022 meeting of the Moorhead Public Service Commission to order. Commissioner Duran will be participating in this meeting via interactive television from her address at 3625 22nd Avenue South in Moorhead, Minnesota 56560, which location is open and accessible to the public during the meeting. At this time, we only have audio available for her, but she's on. I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Paulson, seconded by Daly, to approve the meeting's agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
Chair Thompson, we can see her. She is online, but because we're having technical issues here, we can't see her.
So the people at home can see her? Okay. Never mind. Customers wishing to address the commission for items that are not on the agenda are asked to fill out a form that's located in the back of the room and give it to the administrative assistant in attendance at the meeting prior to speaking. Customers wishing to address the commission regarding a specific agenda item other than the rate hearings will be given an opportunity during the discussion of that item. Each customer will be given 3 minutes to address the commission. We're here to listen. Any follow-up or feedback will be done by email on anything that cannot be resolved this evening. Okay, I'd entertain a motion now to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by McDougal, seconded by Hendrickson, to approve the consent agenda. Hendrickson,
Yes.
Paulson,
Yes.
Durand,
Yes.
McDougal,
Yes.
Daly, Thompson. Item number 6, customers to be heard and recognitions. Anything, Mr. Schmidt?
Nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you. No customers are here to be heard. Old business, any old business? Okay, seeing none. City Council report, Mr. Hendrickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple quick items. It's that season again. It's budget season. So we met for our first budgeting session, and hopefully it goes well. Just praying it will. So, and then at the council meeting, the only thing notable is we had a resolution to approve a budget adjustment to allocate American Rescue Plan Act funds to the Churches United for Silver Linings Apartments. So that was a pretty big deal, just to get them going and just bridge a gap for them. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Public Service Commission. Nothing? Okay, General Manager's report. Mr. Schmidt.
Sure. I got a couple items in the packet, and then a couple of more items I'm going to bring up as well too. So the Midwest Reliability Organization informed us later in May that we're going to be having an audit in 2023. That'll actually start in November of this year and hopefully concluded by March of next year as well too. So staff will be working on that. And then I've got Mark Pritchard here. He's going to talk about our consumer confidence report, or as we all know it, the drinking water report.
Thank you, Travis. Mark Pritchard, Water Plant Supervisor. Each year, the Water Division coordinates with the Minnesota Department of Health to make what's called a Consumer Confidence Report. Within this report, it provides basic information to our customers regarding how their water is supplied to them, how it's treated, and then what is sampled on an annual basis. Over the course of a 12-month period from January through December, the Water Division looks for and samples for well over 100 different types of contaminants in the water supply. Very few of them come back as detectable limits, which is good for us. The ones that do come back that have what are called MCLs, or maximum contaminant levels, that the state monitors quite closely, those are represented in the report if they are detectable, but underneath these safe thresholds for daily consumption. So that is all included inside the Consumer Confidence Report, and we also added a few things on there this year regarding lead service lines and how to reduce lead exposure. There's been a lot of discussion on a nationwide scale about lead service lines and their upcoming removal with the revisions to the lead and copper rule. So we did find it prudent to add that information to the backside of the report so people could get some more information. So that's about what I have for the Consumer Confidence Report. We do this once every year. Depending on what samples we check for, you may see dates for samples that are all the way back to 2019. That is because that certain sampling sets that we do are very stable throughout time. They don't really change a whole lot, so we don't check for them on an annual basis. Some of them go as far out as once every 3 years. So we do have a couple items on the CCR that have that once every third year sampling time frame, and the rest of them, for the most part, are all annual samples.
Questions? Sounds great.
Thank you.
It's good news. Thank you.
Just a couple more items. We did put out a press release today on current grid conditions. Again, this is revolving around the rolling blackouts that we had during the polar vortex back in 2021, and just trying to prepare customers in Moorhead for that and trying to simplify it down. We worked with Missouri River Energy as well, and all the members there, and they just simplified it down. So we've got a bunch of good information on our website. We'll be working on the social media side of that as well too as things change, but you'll see something that says current grid conditions, and there's an emergency alert an alert and then an emergency. And so basically there's 3 options. So if it's an alert, we'll be asking to reduce energy usage. If it's an emergency, we'll be working to, there's a potential for some rolling blackouts and things like that. So we're trying to simplify it down. There's more information on there based on the SPP criteria that's actually followed. It's probably about an 8-step situation from advisories all the way to level 3 alerts, which is what we had back in February of last year as well too. So not only that, we put a bunch of current drought condition information on the front page of the website as well too. So you can see that along with a couple other things too. And again, just wanted to give a bunch of kudos out to the crews and staff over the weekend and yesterday. With all the wind we had a lot of outages, and a lot of staff were in all day Saturday and some of Sunday, and then last night as well too. So we did also have a water main break, so I want to say kudos to the water crew for getting that fixed as well too. So and that completes my report.
Okay, great. Thank you. Item 8D, accept report on the 2021 Conservation Improvement Program.
Sure. I'm going to have Taylor Holt come up. Taylor's kind of taken over for Dennis on this until we find a replacement for him, and I'll let Taylor go from there.
Thanks, Travis. Good evening, everybody. So this Conservation Improvement Program is a summary of all of the programs that we have out there. A lot of them we run joint with Missouri River Energy Services. Those are the ones that have real dollars behind it in the form of rebates for our customers. In our Bright Energy Solutions program, we pay people to put more efficient electronic appliances and light bulbs in their homes and their businesses. A Conservation Improvement Program is a state mandated program, so we do have some goals set. They are based off of 1.5% of our annual energy sales every single year. So obviously with the law of diminishing returns, it gets much more difficult the longer we continue to implement these programs. And then also we've got a spending requirement that's based off of 1.5% of gross operating revenue from retail electric sales, which is just a fancy way of saying all of the electric sales together, try to reduce it by try to spend 1.5% of that revenue. We were able to achieve it in 2021, just barely. One of the major parts of this program is our load control program, which includes the Thrifty Watts and the dual heat. But that is one of the easier ways to make up a lot of those savings. But the state mandate does cap it so we can only report 50% of our goal to that. So it does force us to broaden and diversify the programs that we have. With that, there were a few energy rebates added to the Bright Energy Solutions program for 2022 in our 2022 SIP plan, which also includes our updated number or goals that we're trying to achieve. And we're actually on very good track with our affordable housing and weatherization program, which provides upgraded efficient appliances to low-income residents in the area that have difficulty upgrading. Along with that, we met our goals for last year, and we are currently on track for meeting them this year, but we've still got half the year left to go. Are there any questions on the report?
Questions at this time? Nope. Did a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to accept the report.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you for the report. Annual management report.
Sure. Well, I was going to give you a little PowerPoint high-level overview of the annual management report tonight. We are having those technical difficulties, so I do have a paper copy in front of you of the PowerPoint, so we'll zip through that and go from there. Again, this is for 2021, and just wanted to again provide you with some overview on that. So administrative services is the first slide after the title page. Financial highlights, again, operating revenue, we were about $54 million combined between water and electric. That's split out into about $11 million for the water division and $43 million for the electric division. Operating expenses was about $36 million. Again, those are split out as well, too, below. Water division about $7 million and electric division $29 million as well. Again, MPS transfer to the city of Moorhead, that's roughly about $9.8 million. Water division provides just under $700,000 to the city for that, and the electric division provides just over $9 million for that. Net positions, again, that's combined. It was a good year. We had increases on both the water and electric division. Total is about $8.5 million. Water division $3.5 million, and electric division $4.9 million. So, next slide on the administrative services portion, human resources. In 2021, we had about 55 full-time employees. We saw 3 retirements, 3 resignations due to other jobs. We had 5 full-time positions filled in 2021 and 7 vacant positions that were left open. Total approved by the commission is 62 full-time positions that are available. Customer service portion of this, in Moorhead Public Service has the water and electric meters. That's about 35,000 meters we touch on a monthly basis for readings and other needs. We have about 20,000, just over 20,000 accounts. Customers there, about 38% use cash or check. 27% use our MPS automatic payment plan services. 25% use the MPS portal. and 10% uses their own customer online banking services as well too. The way they get their bills, just under or just over 17% get the e-bill from Moorhead Public Service, so they get it electronically. That's up from 2020 by about 13%, and the remainder, the 82% get their bill, get a paper bill from Moorhead Public Service as well too. Some accomplishment for the administrative services portion. Again, no rate increase for the 4th year in 2021 on the electric division. We did have a 3.5% increase on the water division. There was no bonding requirements in 2021. We did implement the payment plan agreement due to COVID, so that was a good positive as well. Updated several policies and or created some new policies, and we're continuing on that in 22. We did complete all labor contracts, and those go through 2024. We did update and complete a new strategic plan with some new initiatives, and then we managed COVID restrictions again through 21 and associated needs. From the water division, next, production and sales, we had 1,642 million gallons of pumped and treated water. Red River supplied about 72% of that, and the Buffalo and Moorhead aquifers about 28%. Water sales, that was about just under 1,400 million gallons, and water customers, so the amount of customers we had is about 13,000. Again, revenue was up from 2020. That was just over about $1.156 million of additional, and a lot of that is due to the drought conditions we had in 2021. Expenses were up just under $300,000 that year as well too. Again, water supply continued to observe and the protection of the water supplies that we have. Again, Red River of the North, we are seeing some water hardness issues and water quality degradation that we're dealing with, and that costs more by using more chemicals to treat that. Again, drought conditions were also an impact in 2021 on the Red River. Moorhead and Buffalo aquifers, again, source water assessment project was initiated, and wellhead protection overlay district was a point of contention as well in 2021. Red River Valley Water Supply Project, again, we continue to monitor that. Mark Pritchard sits on the technical committee, and I sit on the Lake Agassiz Water Authority Board. Water treatment plant and storage capital projects. A lot of projects going on in the water division over the past few years. So they finalized or completed the water treatment plant filter media replacement project, completed the lime sludge dewatering facility and put in place a lime sludge hauling contract, completed the construction of the south side water tower and the repair and repainting of the I-94 water tower as well. From the water distribution side, they had 4 water main replacement projects last year. Replaced just over a mile of cast iron or asbestos cement piping. And again, worked on the lead service line legislation monitoring and planning for that, as we are working on that now in 2022. Again, accomplishments for the water division, completed all water treatment plant audit compliance, maintained the water treatment plant laboratory accreditation. We won Tank of the Year for the Southside Water Tower, and we were a top 3 finalists for Best in Class for Minnesota AWWA in the state of Minnesota, and completed a lot of major infrastructure projects as well too. So going on to the electric division, energy and capacity requirements, sold a lot of electricity, that's for sure. So 441 million kilowatt hours was the requirement for last year. About just over 52% of that came from WAPA, 47% came from Missouri River, and just a little bit from our internal generation, the wind turbines, the diesel generating station, and the solar facilities that we have up by the wind turbines. And the generation plant ran for 86 hours straight during the polar vortex, and we had a all-time peak of 82 megawatts, or 82,779 kilowatts. So that was a high for that year. Again, our reliability requirements were a little bit of a struggle last year. Our SAIDI indice was about 203 minutes. Our standard is 60 minutes, so we were above that. SAIFI was roughly 4 outages per year per customer. That's what a customer saw last year. We want them around 1 outage per year. And our CAIDI we met was a 50-minute average, and the standard is 60 minutes on that. Again, a lot of this is revolving around one weather event. We had 6,600 customers out for a transmission outage for about 5 hours, and in 2021, 97% of all our SAIDI minutes were weather-related. So it was a huge impact, and hope to move on from that. Again, Electric Division 2021 capital projects, transmission and substation. We finalized the 2021st Street transmission line relocation. A lot of that was delayed due to construction constraints with the contractor there. Centennial Sub bus modifications was completed, and we started the transformer and reactor project. Again, the transmission line repairs, some of that was all due to the weather event that we had last year as well. Distribution, we completed 8 projects, extension upgrades and cable replacement, and we started the AMI project as well, along with several other operational projects that were needed. Again, accomplishments for the Electric Division in 2021. MPS received an APPA Safety Award for last year due to the how safe our employees were being. And we also got the Smart Energy Provider designation from APPA. Again, 2021 was the first year we had 100% net zero carbon supply for Moorhead. And we continue that on in 2022 as well. And then again, one thing that we've always worked to achieve, and we finally got it last year, we had the lowest electric rates in all classes in Moorhead. So that revolves more around the region as well too. So look at Fargo, Moorhead, and some of the outstanding communities around that. So other than that, that is all I have. Questions?
Hendrickson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Pardon me. Very good, Travis. A lot of accomplishments this year, so very, very good. I got a couple questions. Actually, one, that 2021st Street transmission line relocation, when is that finished up?
Most of that was already completed, but because of the slope stability issue that they were having, we had to wait, or we had to relocate a structure, or maybe even 2, and we had to wait until they got everything shored up before we could put them back in their specific location. So that was finalized last year. We were able to, once they had all the retaining walls up and in place, we were able to put that back in place where it was supposed to be.
Very good, yeah. Yeah, we've had a lot of trouble with that. Hopefully it opens in July here.
We're all hoping that, I think.
Yeah, I guaranteed it, so. I don't know if that's too bright, but. And then I just want to congratulate you too on the 100% net zero carbon supply. Not every city has that, or most cities don't. So, great job with that. Great report. Like I said, a lot of accomplishments this year. So, congratulations to you and the MPS staff. Just really good work.
I'll say kudos to the staff, because without them, we couldn't do it. So, kudos to them.
Mr. Paulson.
Madam Chair, thank you. Travis, this is absolutely outstanding work. Obviously, you mentioned you and your staff and the staff's hard work related to this. I guess I want to ask you, what are you going to do to outdo yourself next year? Because it certainly seems like we're hitting on all cylinders, on all certain things. And I know we have a number of initiatives and those sorts of things, but I don't think us as a board could ask for anything better than what you've reported out here. Everything looks great. Obviously, we want to keep moving in that direction, but any big things on the horizon next year that we should be aware of?
Good question. Mark and I and yourself and Heidi and Chuck had a conversation last week on some water quality issues. I think we're going to see more push coming from that. Reliability-wise, we already got a designation from APPA for this year as well too. So that's another good thing coming down the pipeline as well. There's going to be other things coming, and some of them we know about. We just don't know the answers to yet. And but yeah, I think it's good. We're hitting on all cylinders, and staff is pretty cognizant of what's going on industry-wide, whether it's water or electric, and that definitely helps making sure that we're doing what's best for Moorhead. So I hope we can outdo it, and I hope reliability-wise we can fix that and move forward. But I think with some other things and we get some different staff in place, I think there's other things that we can look forward to in this year and next year as well.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'll just end with one comment. And public power works, and this is, prime example right here of what public power can do for the residents of this community and So I'll echo Councilmember Hendrickson's thank you to you and your staff, because I think you guys do a wonderful job.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I have nothing to say negatively about this report. What struck me was I'd never seen it reported for, the bill type, the electronic versus the e-bill versus the paper bill.
Yep.
And is there, I mean, have we made a concerted effort to encourage people to move to the e-bill?
Great question, and I think I'm going to pull Mark
in?
Moylan up here and let him talk for a minute. Again, his customer service staff deals with the customers on a daily basis,
Sure.
and I think he can provide some insight on that.
Yeah, thank you. Mark Moylan, Controller. In response to your question, it's kind of there's pros and cons. If you look at our payments, how people pay their bills, automated payments don't match up really with getting the paper bills. So a lot of people pay that bill based on receiving that piece of paper. And even at my house, we have bills we put in the drawer and they get paid certain times of the month. You know, we do have a lot of stuff set auto, but there's other things that we like to do manually. So, you know, our introduction is improved, but it's still not great. But again, we find that sometimes when people sign up, they forget that that bill was due if they don't have it set up for ACH as well. So, you know, there's pros and cons of encouraging that.
Sure.
And this is obviously one of those bills that you don't want to miss and run into issues after 60 days or 90 days.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was just curious. I hadn't really seen the breakdown before. I probably have seen it, but it didn't hit me. So I thought, I'm going to ask about that.
Yeah, this is the first time we've really
Okay.
looked at, and Travis did a great job putting that presentation together. We talked about, you know, how can we present this rather than just having that huge document out there?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so giving the summaries by the different areas was very key. And again, he did a great job putting that together.
Great.
Mark, question for you. Have we made a concerted effort to try to get more people on e-bill in the past at all? I don't remember.
They did do it years ago, but they ran into the issue where they weren't paying it. They'd also pay people to do it. People would get the $10 or whatever fee that they paid. And again, this is before I started in 2011. And they just ran into enough issues that they kind of said, let's just really kind of associate it with those that sign up with ACH and encourage them to get the paper bills. But, you know, just let others who run into issues and want to just match their payments to when they want to make them get the paper. And again, we try and limit it to just one page so we're not wasting paper and trees and resources, but the bill is one page once a month. So, I mean, if that's something you'd like to explore, we can definitely talk about it. Again, we've got our budget season coming up and we can look at, you know, some initiatives if you want to explore those.
I think that's an interesting take, and you know, to have the physical bill to encourage people to actually pay their, yeah, I just hadn't, like I said, I hadn't seen it before, so I was just curious.
Sure. No, it is very interesting, as we noted, as Travis indicated with the numbers.
Yep.
We have a pretty good spread between, you know, it's pretty even of those who pay manually, auto pay, who use their own bank's bill pay, and those that use the online services. It's not heavily one or the other. It's spread throughout those other options that are out there.
Madam Chair,
Paulson.
if I could maybe tie into that discussion, I would be interested in looking at an analysis there. I mean, I know a lot of organizations that, you know, give a small credit if you go to automatic payment because it reduces administrative burden. And, you know, if Mark could show us some cost savings ideas related to that might also ease the burden on his department, you know, I'd certainly be open to taking a look at that.
I think it's something worth exploring.
You got budget season come up, we'll talk about it then.
Ah. Any other questions for regarding this report?
I have a quick one, Madam Chair. I do have one complaint. Best in Glass, who won it last year? Do you know which city?
Mark Pritchard said Chanhassen, he thinks, is who potentially won it. or Minneapolis.
Yep, okay. Top three, that's great. Just looking for number one. Thanks.
Sorry, we're always looking for number one, so.
Well, Commissioner Hendrickson, this is a rebuilding year this year, so we'll come back next year, right, Mark?
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to accept the annual management report.
So moved to definitely accept this. Very well done report.
Second.
I have a motion by Daley, seconded by McDougall to accept the 2021 annual manager report for MPS. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for this report. I'm going to keep it. Worth hanging on to. And it looks like we're not going into executive session. And so the upcoming meetings, July 5th, do we have any more?
There's nothing right now on the agenda unless something comes up. We're tentatively planning to cancel that meeting.
Okay, great. And then the other one in July is the 19th. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much for coming. Meeting's adjourned.